on this episode, we're going to be crashing Project X's party. And believe me, I wish it was the one with Matthew Broderick and chimps. In the mid-noughties, the R-rated comedy made a huge resurgence with the rise of Judd Apatow. His comedies, like The 40-Year-Old Virgin and Knocked Up, were smutty romps, but at their heart they were good-natured and accessible, which took some of the sting out of their rough edges. But the one which caught on with audiences big time was Superbad, a tale of three friends on the last night of high school trying to get drunk, party and get the girls before going their separate ways. Now don't get me wrong, I like the movie, but there are some things wrong with it, especially Jonah Hill, who in the early stages is almost insufferably crude, and on repeat viewings it's not as funny as it once was. But without Apatow or Superbad, you definitely wouldn't have a movie like The Hangover, which is a bit of a mean-spirited comedy about Vegas debauchery. That movie became the highest grossing R-rated comedy to that point, and that led to a lot of inferior copies, including its vastly weaker sequels, so we've had a whole cycle of comedies that can be traced back to The Hangover. Due Date, The Change-Up, 21 Over, where somewhat insidiously, the name of the game seems to be get pissed, act like a cock, and be as mean as cruel as possible to get laughs. Oh, and maybe have some comedy Asians in it, because, you know, Mr. Chow and all that, they're funny. But by far and away the worst thing to come out of this is Project X, that takes these ideas to an extreme, a film produced by Hangover director Todd Phillips, and combines it with another current movie trend that needs to die, the found footage movie. What happens when these two things come together? Well, you get the virginity hit, but thankfully no one saw that piece of crap. Although it doesn't claim to be a true story, the film is clearly inspired by a 2008 party held by then 16-year-old Australian Corey Worthington, which thanks to being spread across text messages and MySpace led to between 400 and 500 people coming, garnering an infamousy. And it's not a huge surprise to learn this Twitter feed repeatedly hashtags the film's title. Like many found footage movies, Project X was made for very little in Hollywood terms, $12 million in fact, mostly because the cast is made up of unknowns with little to no previous credits, and this is the director's first film. The only person with any major credits to his name is co-writer Michael Bacall, who wrote Scott Pilgrim vs. the World and 21 Jump Street. Wait, hang on, those are two legitimately funny movies! How the hell do you end up with something like this? The film wasn't a runaway hit, but it made over $100 million worldwide. However, given that it's a party movie, it not only caught on, but it did so with many underage audiences, and that's where I think the movie crosses the line into dangerous. There have been reports of parties attempting to copycat the movie's events that have had to have been broken up by police, caused huge amounts of property damage, and even a fatality, so much so that all home video releases have a disclaimer on the packaging and in front of the movie urging viewers not to emulate. Not that many of its more dubious viewers will see that, since it also bears the distinction of being the most pirated movie of 2012. And I'll have you know I have partayed before now, and I had a good time, so I'm not a total shut-in. Even if my co-workers instant messaged me afterwards because they couldn't believe it. Let's just review the movie. Right, so the movie is about a teenager called Thomas, played by, Thomas Mann. Apparently cast because he looks a bit like Ferris Bueller's Cameron. He's celebrating his 17th birthday, and his friends are making a video account of the shenanigans that are sure to follow. This is because his house is free due to the fact his birthday also conveniently happens to fall on his parents' anniversary, in the first of many narrative contrivances during the film's runtime. In roughly around 12 hours, he's gonna make them wish they never even met each other, let alone conceived and gave birth to him. As I'm probably making clear, there's no point summarising the shapeless documentary narrative of the film in linear terms. This is mostly because the plot elements of Project X are so lazily set up early on, even the film treats them like cliches it's supposed to use, because they're mandatory parts of the genre.
And I know I don't need to tell you, but my car is off limits.
Yeah, Dad, I know.
Good, okay. And also, guys, do not go in my office, right? You know I have 3 projects I'm working on. I don't want anybody in there. Clear? Nothing goes in here, right? Where's your mom? I gotta get the bags.
Oh man, I wonder if they're gonna go into his locked office and if his prize car is gonna be trashed by the end of the running time. And apparently having rules and responsibility makes you a Nazi according to this movie. Let's let's go into each of these main characters, shall we? So Thomas, birthday boy, is pretty much an average kid. Nothing more, nothing less. He's maybe a little bit awkward, but aside from that, he's got no damn personality in the slightest. Well, I say that because he's actually got a friendship to Kirby, played by Kirby Bliss Blanton, who is an obscenely beautiful sporty type that so clearly has feelings for him, and he's clearly got feelings for her that he just won't say. Oh, but he's also pressured into trying to score the popular girl, Alexis, played by Alexis Knapp, who I quote, only fucks college guys. I mean, we've all been there, right? Being torn between the choice of two extremely pretty girls fighting over us? No. Oh, come on. Only losers weren't straight pimps in their teens. In fact, that eye wrongly seems to be exactly the mindset of Thomas's father.
This is Thomas we're talking about. He's not exactly Mr. Popular.
What is that supposed to mean?
I'm just saying that he's not that type of kid. You know, he's got a couple of friends, they're gonna hang out, but they're not gonna do anything. He's a sweet kid, but he's a loser.
Whoa, hold up. I think we got a contender for the Father of the Year award. Calling your son a loser because he behaves himself rather than being popular? Honestly, who gives a flying fuck about that douchebag? Our next character is Costa, played by Oliver Cooper. He's the first character we see, and boy is he an omen of what's to come. He's introduced singing We Want Some Pussy, which I'm guessing plays in his head at all times.
Hey, we want some pussy. Hey, we want some pussy. Birthday cake. Dax, my dick is gonna get so wet tonight.
Excuse me.
Shit.
That's only a minute into the movie. And that's the least of his troubles, because he takes pride in being as offensive and insulting as possible. And his dialogue is laced with casual racism, misogyny, and homophobia at every single turn. But you don't have to take my word for it. Here's a highlight reel of Costa's classiest moments.
He's one of JV's guys from Gay V Club. Get off me, little faggot dog. The whole idea behind tonight is to get these bitches to recognize us as large-scale ballers. If I don't fuck a girl with big titties tonight, I'm drowning myself. I don't care if she's 300 pounds. I have to fuck a girl with big titties. If you fuck this up, I will stab you. Thomas is bitching out like a little bitch that he is. Oh my God.
What a charming, sophisticated, erudite speaker he is. Fuck, bitch, fuck, bitch. Yeah, insecure much, Costa. What's also clear is that Costa is an extremely negative influence on Thomas, who browbeats him into getting his way. The party itself is only happening because Costa made him do it. When Costa agrees to keep the house locked only for themselves, it's clear he has no intention of actually obeying it. They even say it, the reason why Kirby isn't part of the gang is because things changed when Costa joined them. He's that much of an arrogant asshole.
Okay, like no more than 20 people.
20 people?
All right, 30 people, okay?
30 people?
Yeah, I have to make sure my house doesn't get totally fucked.
30 people won't change anything for us.
All right, like, okay, 50 people, absolute max.
Fine.
You know, just big enough to be cool.
No! Stick up for yourself, Thomas. You don't have to have 50 people around your house if you don't want to. It's your party. Stand up to this posing tosser. Oh, and he comes from Queens, which he never stops bloody bragging about and how much he gets laid.
Back in Queens, I had hoes blowing me on the reg. Then I started hanging out with you two. Zero.
Oh, well, if your hat's so good in Queens, why don't you fuck off back there? He's like if you put Eric Cartman and Phil from The Hangover in a blender, and since he's so personally responsible for everything that happens, I'll be keeping what I like to call the Screw Costa count. I'd say he's about 2 so far. The third member of the main gang is JB, played by Jonathan Daniel Brown. Ugh, really? He's the even bigger weakling in the group, who's just there to be constantly the butt of jokes made by Costa about how he's fat or he's retarded and so forth. The film's worst gags are on him, like when he pops an erection for no reason other than the scene needed a gag at the end of it.
Oh, what the fuck are you wearing?
My God.
Ladies love a guy with class.
Are you retarded? Where do you even get shit like that?
Men's Warehouse.
Men's Warehouse.
That gag seems familiar. In fact, everything I've been talking about so far seems very familiar, but I can't quite put my finger on... Oh, that's why! This is a shameless rip-off of Superbad, and it's not even trying to hide it! Thomas is clearly Evan, Costa is clearly an even more repugnant version of Seth, the funny and quotable one, and JP is clearly a fatter version of Fogel. Fogel actually dressed up in laughably ill-suited older clothes to try and buy booze, and that's what this joke is directly lifted from. The fact they want to get rid of their old statuses by having sex at a party at the end of the year? That's exactly what they're trying to do here. I know there are elements that are clearly meant to be homages to teen flicks gone by, but this is straight up copying your biggest influence. Did you think we wouldn't notice? In fact, I'm actually glad they brought up Superbad, because I'll be using it for direct comparison to see what they did wrong. The only thing different is there's a fourth member of the group called Dax, played by YouTube sensation, Dax Flame, who serves as a seldom heard, even less seen cameraman, who is meant to be a kind of goth kid that borders on a total psychopath, which accounts for why he so frequently decides to get closer and spy in on private conversations between the other characters. The idea of a detachment to the filming is not a totally new concept in a found footage movie, especially since Chronicle did it more explicitly the month before it came out, but even so, it's a nice element of subversiveness in what's otherwise played depressingly straight, even if these movies do think personality disorders are hysterical. That being said, the fact that the cameraman seems like a budding killer in waiting doesn't nearly explain the gigantic holes in the found footage. For example, take this scene which is occurring inside the boys' locker room as they get changed. Why does no one notice that there's a kid filming them half naked? He's not shooting this on a little flip camcorder, he's doing this on a professional shoulder-mounted camera. There's no way you'd miss that unless you were completely freaking blind. Even the kids in Chronicle took more notice of someone filming them. Also, you might notice a slight problem in when they visit the supermarket.
Want some drink? He's gonna catch him and he's gonna get his ass kicked. Trouble on my mind. I got trouble on my mind. You guys get on with the
Okay, if there's only one kid supposed to be filming them, who's the second phantom camera shooting the other angle? And this isn't the only example. The first 20 minutes are littered with them cheating, which is pretty bad for a found footage movie. Oh, and Costa made a baby cry. Count, please.
Smiles, tell her. Dude, it is. That's him. Holy shit.
So bad. Yeah, my boy's starting at second base for USC. My tell, what's cracking, bro? We go to North Pass.
Yeah, you big fans.
Huge fans. Cool. Awesome.
Listen, Miles, we're having a little soiree at my place tonight. I mean, if you want to swing by.
Tell her, my boy here is underselling this like a motherfucker. This shit's gonna be legit. You should definitely swing by.
Yeah, no, here's gonna be like a limited high school pussy.
So 21 Over's Miles Teller is playing a character called Miles Teller, except he's not supposed to be the actor, he's meant to be a college student. What's with all the actors playing the parts in their own names? Is it because they might forget the fake ones when they get drunk? Obviously the footage shows them repeatedly committing small crimes like shoplifting, but the most egregious and most moronic episode involves them going to an unstable drug dealer called T-Rick, who is naturally an associate of Costa's. And Dax is filming all this on camera! In fact, he actually goes round the side of the house so he can get a better view through the window of them making the deal. Who is this video diary meant to be for, Thomas? What if it got into the wrong hands? Why the hell would you basically incriminate yourselves? But no, staggeringly, this sequence actually gets dumber once T-Rick leaves the room.
Oh, I'm coming on Santa Claus's face.
Costa, it's coming back.
Thanks, take it, take it.
Dude, are you stealing it?
No, we're just borrowing it. We need a fucking mascot for the party.
Why are you stealing it? You just picked it up and played with it. Just put it back where you found it before he comes back in. This really is as random and as arbitrary as it looks. Oh, that's right, because the plot says so. Predictably, a violent drug dealer doesn't take kindly to someone stealing his property.
Ah, give him the note back! Give him the fucking note back! Fuck that! Just go! Holy $10, you fucking wild man!
Just give him back the gnome! The dude is freaking crazy! Whatever his reasons are, it's not worth it! They manage to lose him and return home, only to find that Costa's hired bouncers.
This is Everett and his boy Tyler. They're gonna be running security for the night.
Are you serious? Are those nunchucks?
Yeah?
You guys look like ninjas.
Ninjas are fucking pussies. That's why I love this kid.
What up, Costa?
Do I know you guys?
We heard about your shindig tonight. We want in.
You freshmen? Yeah. Get the fuck out of here.
So he hires a couple of deranged 12-year-olds to act as security at a party which no one will pay attention to, but he won't allow freshmen to come. Well, at least Costa has some principles, I suppose.
An hour from now, this place is a fucking madhouse.
Oh, not a madhouse, just gonna be a fun, decent-sized
Relax. For you, me, Dax.
Thank you. I don't drink alcohol.
Okay, faggot.
Apparently, if you don't drink alcohol, you're a creep worthy of a homophobic remark. Thanks for teaching us this wisdom, Costa. Showing up fashionably late is a whole swarm of people carrying booze, and thus the party begins in earnest in the garden, with the found footage expanding to multiple angles from their mobile phones and portable cameras. And it's not a good sign that one of the earliest things to happen is that Thomas's dog Milo gets picked up by a bunch of blokes smoking weed who blow their puffs into the dog's face. We then subsequently see the dog eating crisps and jumping on things. Get it? Because it's high! That's not even the worst of it.
That is not fucking cool.
Just like that.
My fucking dog.
Oh, I gotta record this.
Are you serious right now?
The party's barely been on screen for 3 minutes, and they've taken the dog to a set of balloons and suspended him into the air, because pointless animal cruelty is hilarious when it's done for kicks. Soon after, the house itself gets breached despite Costa's assurances. He goes to tell him to leave the home, but then he decides not to once he realises just how popular he is at this moment. Obviously, the first 2 hours of this party are relatively uneventful because we only realise that's how much time has supposedly passed when an angry neighbour called Rob comes to them to wrap it up.
I am serious because it's 11:30 at night and it's time to wrap it up.
I guess we're just gonna have to agree to disagree then, aren't we?
Listen to me, Thomas. Either shut it down or I'm calling the cops. Fine, fuck it. I'm calling the fucking cops. Fuck tase me, man. I'm definitely calling the cops now.
You punched a kid in the face. I'm calling the cops on your ass now.
Do it, genius. It's all on tape. I just saw this motherfucker recorded right here.
All I got was you punching that little child's face.
Fuck you.
So the guy who complains because he's got a wife and baby at home to end the party is not only treated like he's the bad guy, but is worthy of being tasered and assaulted. Yeah, what a party-pooping asshole! Costa encourages the punch security kid to keep an eye on Rob in case he does actually make good on his threat, which he takes all too literally.
Go ahead, bro. What's happening?
Subject is currently arguing with an overweight woman, most likely his wife. She wants him to call the police. He says he wants to handle it himself. He's drinking. They're in the kitchen. I'm upstairs. Kids are asleep. Over.
Wait, you're in their house? Are you fucking kidding me? E, get the fuck out now!
Negative. I'm a ghost. Out.
What the fuck am I gonna do with this kid?
So the kid is turning this into a full-scale vendetta and even breaking into the guy's home? Junior psychopath, anyone? Call the police is right!
Whoa, 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 read the sign, honey. Sorry, I don't make the rules. No fucking way! You fucking believe this?
So because there's a sign there that says only naked chicks may enter, all the girls just strip off just like that? Yeah, that's how I'm sure most women would react. And if you guess this is so we can get a lot of pervy underwater boob shots, you clearly watch a lot of Barely Legal. And occasionally Thomas has to field phone calls from his blissfully unaware parents.
Hello?
Thomas, he's there.
Dad,
honey.
hey.
Yeah, where have you been? We've been trying your cell phone all night. I thought we agreed all my calls would be answered.
I know, yeah, I'm sorry about that. We were on the hot tub, so I didn't have it on me.
Well, we just wanted to call one last time before going to bed. Make sure you're all set for the night.
Yep, all good. I'm actually about to go to sleep right now.
How could they not hear anything like the crowd or the loud DJ's music playing in the background? Is this room magically soundproofed? It turns out Rob did actually go through with calling the police, so they make a mad scramble to get everyone out of the house and move into the backyard and dispose of the beer before they arrive. Luckily, they manage to convince the cops that not only is the party just about to come to an end, but for them with legal mumbo-jumbo so they can't enter into the house, all whilst the partygoers in the back wait on tenterhooks to continue. Because apparently you can make a crowd of hundreds of people stand in your back garden completely silent as if they weren't there. there. Oh, that's right, because they probably weren't when they filmed this bit. Unfazed by nearly getting shut down by the police, they decide to continue through the night for as long as possible, the little snot-nosed punks. It's at this point the movie becomes an absolutely endless seeming set of montages set to crappy dubstep club shite that makes the movie feel even more like a particularly overlong YouTube video that runs for 84 minutes. For every about 5 minutes of plot or whatever, there's now a montage of assorted party shenanigans. Even Rocky IV didn't contain this many montages in it. It's like being forced to watch MTV for 24 hours while pissed. And we've got montages for everything, such as the property damage montage, which shows people starting to trash the house and everything that belongs in it, including breaking windows, using vases as drinks holders, climbing a chandelier and breaking it, and so forth. I've never understood this mentality. Oh man, this party's great, but you know what would make it even madder? If I pointlessly destroyed the party thrower's property. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh shit son, we're partying now! Party is a verb! This particular montage concludes with Miles Teller taking a baseball bat to T-Rex's nose, revealing that it's filled with ecstasy, which the partygoers rapidly hoover up on sight and immediately shove into their face holes in incredibly fetishistic and glamorizing close-ups. Because, you know, that's a great message to send out to teenagers. It's not really a party unless there's copious drug consumption. It's the only way to have fun. Come on, everyone's doing it! Thomas discovers that at least one of the partygoers found the information about it from Craigslist, which he confronts Costa about.
Where the fuck did all these people even come from? I mean, you know, a guy down there told me he found out about the party on fucking Craigslist. My dad met my stepmom on Craigslist. So you just put my address on the fucking internet?
Well, not just the internet.
Shut the fuck up, JB. No, wait, what the fuck is he talking about? Okay, I had Jesse Marco put out an email blast, and I may have called a radio station.
You motherfuckers!
Oh, so calls not only spread through text messages across half the bloody school, they managed to broadcast it so far and wide there's probably people from several towns over. How important do you think Thomas was to oversaturate it like that? Thanks, Costa, this is entirely your fault. But trust on Costa's corrupting power because he's got the perfect solution to Thomas's anxiety.
Look, man, I know you're not a drug guy, and I respect that about you, but right now, this is what you need.
What is it?
It's ecstasy. It'll put the brakes on your little freak out. Just take it.
This won't totally, like, fuck me up, will it?
Of course it will, dude. That's the whole point. Here.
So now he's encouraging his friends to take drugs, because who cares if you get completely screwed up? That's all part of the fun, apparently. Nothing disturbing whatsoever about the casual, consequence-free drug use at all. Screw Costa! Actually, there is at least one member of the cast that you'll recognise. There's a little person at the party, and that would be Marty from the Pirates of the Caribbean movies, which generally treated him with more dignity than this film, which has a bunch of jock pricks throw him into an oven, which, you know, could kill him. It's actually telling how bad this act is when even Costa rushes to his aid.
I'm so sorry, sir. I'm so sorry.
No.
That little person punched a load of people in the nuts because he's only at waist height. It works on so many levels. Incredibly, being half his face is, I quote, a good look for Thomas because he's got the attention of Kirby by the pool and it appears in his adult state he can finally realise what's right in front of him. So of course Costa has to fuck that up because when Thomas admits that to him, Costa advised him to go for Alexis since she's the one he's never had a shot at before, and Thomas does it because he's totally spineless. And you can tell that Alexis is the bad girl because she gets her knockers out like half the girls at the party as opposed to Kirby. Also, one of the security kids is filming this sexual encounter. How wonderful.
Oh my god! Thomas.
Kirby.
Fuck off!
I'm sorry. Hey, Kirby.
Thomas, what the fuck?
Oh my god! How could you betray me like that, Thomas? When I asked about getting lucky earlier, I meant getting lucky with me! Why do you think I walked into a room like that for? at him and leaves, and so too does Alexis. Wow, I really don't give a shit. I should mention that this occurs in what I like to call the shag montage, where we see dozens of partygoers make out and hopefully contract an STD or several, especially Costa and JB, who are seen getting lucky whoop-de-fucking-do. Can you imagine what those partygoers' mouths taste like at this precise moment? Smells like alcohol, vomit, and low self-esteem.
Thomas, it's me again.
Oh, fuck, dude.
I just got another call. I'm sure the neighbors are exaggerating. Please call me.
Why the hell are they calling his parents who are clearly not home? Well, call the police who will blatantly know that there's a party going on, especially since there isn't a 12-year-old spying on you this time. In fact, the scales become so big that the TV news have sent a helicopter overhead to cover the story, where Thomas promptly comes out of his shy cocoon to become a beautiful asshole butterfly drunk on his own power. What's more, the police have finally reappeared, but this time they're still not enough to stop the party as they start throwing bottles at their cars, forcing them to retreat, which they celebrate by partying even harder. It's pretty much turning into a full-scale riot at this point, but there seems to be a sadistic pleasure in dealing violence towards any attempt to restraint, and the audience is supposed to be cheering on, going back to rob the neighbour that is really quite uncomfortable. That brings us to the out of control montage, as if you can actually tell any of these bloody things apart by now, but it's the same dancing, violence and pranks as everything else. The problem with having the party take up so much of the running time is that once it gets started, there isn't that much you can really do with it, and to be honest, it's not really that interesting. Compare this to Superbad, which this film oh so clearly aspires to be. In many respects, it's almost an anti-party movie, where it acts as a MacGuffin to move the plot forward. Instead, much of it is actually about the journey getting there, that emulates a sense of anticipation and also explores and develops the relationship between Evan and Seth across their long night. And at the end of that film, they learn their views of women and their own self-worth are wrong and mature into proper adults. Project X doesn't have the wit, maturity, or even comedy of that film because at some point amidst all the partying, they forgot to put in jokes. Oh, and extremely late into the film, they finally remember they're supposed to trash Thomas's dad's car, which probably gets hijacked and driven straight into the swimming pool by the cop-punching little guy? Why?
Oh my god, Thomas. What the fuck? I don't know how to fix this. I don't know how to fix any of this shit.
So basically, in his valiant quest for pussy, Costa essentially destroyed his best friend's life. And no matter how much you directly reference that film, Costa is no Ferris Bueller. And to think people call Bueller sociopathic. But then, holy arbitrary climax, Batman! T-Rick has suddenly arrived at the party with a flamethrower, Lethal Weapon 4 style, and has started torching the entire fucking neighborhood over his gnome, and he's actually calling out for Costa personally. What's more, riot police and SWAT officers have finally arrived at the scene and shoot at T-Rick's pack, causing it to set him on fire, and he promptly runs into a nearby mobile home and explodes. Holy shit, he's dead, right?
The person who caused the early morning fire and explosion here has survived his injuries.
Really? Are we meant to believe the man survived getting blown the fuck up? I guess the filmmakers realised that if this dumbass party actually caused fatalities, it wouldn't nearly be as funny. You know, less than it already is right now. As helicopters drop water on the street to extinguish the blaze, they go back into the house to rescue Mario the dog, who's been stuffed into a drawer because the partygoers are dicks.
Tree, you piece of shit! Have a good time, you cocksucking motherfucker! You're going to jail, you motherfucker! That's my boy! Somebody big Robert! Somebody fucking cry!
Let's all laugh as the man with a wife and child nearly gets his house set ablaze by a lunatic and is attacked by two hellion shits, simply because he wanted the party to end several hours ago. How selfish of him. Thomas, Costa, JB and Dax manage to escape to the school as even they realise the gravity of what's unfolded before going home. Although that does beg the question, who's filming Thomas at his house? Is it Dax stalking him? Or did they just not care at all by this point?
You had
Dad, I'm sorry.
so much going for you, and you just pissed it all away for one night? I just didn't think you had it in you.
I know. Sorry I let you down.
No. I literally didn't think that you had this in you. How many people were here?
1,500? A couple thousand, maybe?
Wow.
You should have seen it.
So he may have completely destroyed his home and property, but at least he has the begrudging respect of his father, who no longer thinks of him as a meek loser and is on some level impressed with him. Yeah, doubtful. And he's not the only one, since when Thomas goes to school soon after, he gets a standing ovation from his classmates for a sick party. But he's still got to win back the approval of the one person who really matters to him, Kirby.
Kirby, I'm really sorry about what happened. My life right now, it's totally ruined. Okay, I practically burned down my whole neighborhood. Probably bankrupt my parents. I'll be in debt until I die, but the only thing that I care about fixing right now is this. If you are talking to me about my next birthday, I'd really like to spend it with just you.
Oh, but now he's got the gun, he's popular, so clearly he's got his priorities straight. Who gives a fuck about being popular in high school? It's over in a flash, just like this guy's future, and this so-called legend is gonna go on to work at Burger King and scrub toilets for the rest of his life. Hope it was worth it, dude. But their party is glorified as a success, even appearing on Jimmy Kimmel of all things, and we learned that while several of them received punishment for their involvement, the one most responsible, Costa, managed to get off completely scot-bloody-free, the bastard.
Joining us now live is one Pasadena teen who's recently drawn a lot of notice for throwing what people are calling possibly the most epic high school party of all time. Before we begin, is there anything that you would like to say to the viewers?
In fact, I would. How about I invite you to my next party?
What?
Yeah, you heard me, sugar tits. Just make sure you wear something tight.
So not only did he get nothing for his actions, but he's completely unrepentant about it. This guy isn't lovable, filmmakers. He's a shithead. And I hope the police break up his little party before it even gets started. This bit is also clearly inspired by the news interview with Corey Worthington after his party, which went viral and is considerably funnier than anything in the movie.
Why don't you take your glasses off so we can see you? And then apologise to your neighbours for frightening them.
Nah, I'll leave these on. Nah, I like them.
Project X is a detestable little film. And that's frankly if you can even call it that, because it barely has enough plot to fill a 2-minute trailer, let alone a feature film. What passes for a script here probably amounts to about 10 pages tops, half of which are references to much superior films in the genre. Every single thing about the movie is ugly, from the nasty pustules passing for characters, including Costa, possibly one of the worst seen on screen in the last 10 years, to the camera work due to its badly executed found footage gimmick. But by far the most ill-judged thing is its tone. This could have made a terrific social parody if they actually showed the consequences, but the film depressingly plays it straight and actually endorses and celebrates the increasing depravity and even encourages emulation to top the partying bar. And to cap it all, the party just looks overcrowded and crappy. This is basically a vile film that seems to be aimed at sociopaths and pricks and is skin crawling for all the wrong reasons. I mean, if you want to go to a party, you don't have to live vicariously through this movie. Just go to one. I guarantee you'll have a much better time. I'm Matthew Buck, beating down bad movies everywhere.
This kind of music, use it and you get amped to do shit. Whenever you hear some shit and you can't refuse it, it's just some shit for these kids that trash their rooms with. Just refuse whenever they ask to do shit. The type of shit that you don't have to ask who produced it. You just know causes mass confusion, the drastic movement of people acting stupid. It's fight music.
Oh man, this paper's harder to rip than I thought. Oh shit, we're partying now! Booyah! Party is an adjective! That didn't go well.